Abaku. 6 languages. Photograph of an ayam. Dancer. Abaku, also sometimes known as Nanaguimo, is a Cuban initiator, a religious fraternity. Founded in 1836. The society is open only to men, and those initiated take oaths to not reveal the secret teachings and practices of the order. Members are typically known as Abanics and are divided amongst lodges or chapters called juegos. Abaku derives largely from the Ekpe Society of West Africa, but displays adaptations like the inclusion of Roman Catholic symbolism. The society teaches the existence of a supreme divinity named Abaku who supplied humanity with a form of power which holds a central place in Abaku's origin myth. Rituals are called plants and typically take place in a secluded room, the famba. Many of the details of these ceremonies are kept secret, although they usually involve drumming. Some of the Abaku Society's ceremonies take place in public. Most notable are the public parades on the Day of the Three Kings, when members dress as ayams, or spirits of the dead. Abaku derives much from the Ekpe Society, which was established by Efik people living around the Cross River basin of West Africa during the 18th century. Ekpe was involved in facilitating trade, including the Atlantic slave trade, as a result of which various enslaved Efik people, including Ekpe members, were transported to Cuba. It was there, in 1836, that Abaku was formed in Regla. The society soon spread to other areas and split into 2 branches, the Ifo and the Efi. Although membership was initially restricted to Afro-Cubans, by the 1860s it also had members from other ethnic backgrounds. Through its membership, the society became increasingly influential in the stevedore, transportation, and local manufacturing industries of Cuba's ports, also attracting a reputation for criminal activity. After the Cuban Revolution, problems donating. Other ways to give frequently asked questions. We never sell your information. By submitting, you are agreeing to our donor privacy policy. The Wikimedia Foundation is a non-profit, tax-exempt organization. If you make a recurring donation, you will be debited by the Wikimedia Foundation until you notify us to stop. We'll send you an email, which will include a link to easy cancellation instructions. I already donated. How often would you like to donate? One-time give monthly. Please select an amount, USD. The average donation in the United States is around $13. $2.75, $10, $15. $25, $50, $75. $100 other. Please select a payment method. Bank transfer, ACH. Maybe later. 1. Suzo RCN. 2. 3. Continue. The Internet we were promised. The 21st of November, an important update for readers in the United States. You deserve an explanation, so please don't skip this 1-minute read. It's Thursday, the 21st of November, and this message will be up only Please read on how often you've visited Wikipedia this year and if you're able to give $2.75 to the Wikimedia Foundation. If everyone reading this gave $2.75, we'd hit our goal in a few hours. The Internet we were promised, a place of free, collaborative, and accessible knowledge, is under constant threat. On Wikipedia, volunteers work together To create and verify the pages you rely on, supported by tools that undo vandalism within minutes, ensuring the information you seek is trustworthy. Just 2% of our readers donate, so if you have given in the past and Wikipedia still provides you with $2.75 worth of knowledge, donate today. If you are undecided, remember any contribution helps, whether it's $2.75 or $25. Proud host of Wikipedia and its sister sites. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Painting of a Diablito Iam. Dancer in Cuba. Abaku continued to face persecution but benefited from the liberalizing reforms of the 1990s as it became increasingly important in the Cuban tourist industry. Definition, edit. Abaku represents a confraternity. 1. It is a religious group. 2. Often seen as a religion by its practitioners. 3. And it seeks to provide spiritual protection for its members. 2. It also operates as a mutual aid society. 4. Offering economic assistance to its members. 2. Only men are permitted entry. 5. And regard each other as brothers. 4. These members are referred to as Abanics. 6. Or as Ikabios. 7. A once common term for members was nanigos. 8. A term potentially deriving from the Nyanya raffia chest piece worn on many Ekp and Abaku ritual costumes. 6. Abaku has been described as an Afro-Cuban version of Freemasonry. 9. The term Abaku lively comes from Abakpa, Kwarajagam, one of the peoples from Calabar. 6. Abaku is one of 3 major Afro-Cuban religions present on the island, the other 2 being Santeria, which derives largely from the Yoruba religion of West Africa, and Palo, which has its origins among the Congo religion of Central Africa. 10. Another Afro-Cuban religion is Arera, which derives from practices among the Yu and Fon. 11. In Cuba, practitioners of these traditions often see these different religions as offering complementary skills and mechanisms to solve problems. 12. Thus, some Abaku members also practice Palo. 13. Or Santeria. 14. Or alternatively Babalawo initiates in the divinatory system of Afa. 15. Organization and membership, edit. Operating along a highly organized structure. 16. The Abaku society displays a complex hierarchy. 2. Different members play different functions in the society. 4. Members pay fees to join the society and subsequent dues, money which finances the operation of the society. 17. Members are bound to oaths of secrecy not to reveal details of the group's beliefs and practices. 18. Chapters are referred to as juegos, potencias, tiras, and partidos. 19. The creation of a new chapter requires the permission of the society's elders as well as a collective consensus in favor of its establishment. 3. The formation of a new lodge requires consecrated drums. 20. Each juego has between 13 and 25 dignitaries, or plazas, who govern it. 4. Each dignitary has a different title that indicate which ritual tasks are their responsibility. 21. If there is a disagreement within a juego, members can branch off to form their own group. 22. In 2014, the scholar Ivor Miller noted that there were then approximately 150 lodges active in Cuba. 23. Initiation may only take place in Cuba itself. 24. The oaths of loyalty to the Abaku. Society's sacred objects, members, and secret knowledge taken by initiates are a lifelong pact that creates a sacred kinship among the members. The duties of an Abaku member to his ritual brothers at times surpass even the responsibilities of friendship. The phrase friendship is one thing, and the Abaku another is often heard. 25. A member's loyalty is primarily owed to their lodge and its lineage. 24. Members identify each other through coded handshakes, phrases, or, in certain circumstances, specific whistles. 26. Beliefs and practices, edit. Abaku draws heavily on the West African ECP society but also reflects innovations and developments that have taken place in Cuba. 27. The supreme deity in Abaku is called Abaku. 28. Members look back to Calabar as a holy place. 24. Origin story, edit. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Painting of an I am dancer in a ceremony in Cuba. There are various versions of the group's origin story, some of which contradict the others. 29. It revolves principally around how the god Abaku delivered a source of power, which was in the form of the fish tans, to two rival groups, the Efa and the Efik. 29. In one version, an Efa woman, Sikan, found the fish in the river and revealed it to the Efik. Another variant has her betray the Efa after she married an Efik man. 29. Some versions of the story maintain that men killed Sikan and seized the power. They then banned women from involvement in their society so that they would never again obtain the power. 29. In the story, the Efik then pressured the Efa to share the power with them, with 7 members of each group meeting to sign an agreement. One individual refused, and this resulted in the 13 major plazas within the society. 30. This origin myth explains the exclusion of women from the society. 31. The myth is also reenacted through a number of the society's rituals. 16. Practices, edit. The society's rituals are called plants. 32. These include initiations, funerals, the naming of dignitaries, and the annual homage to Ek. 4. The details of these rites are kept secret from non-members. 33. Rituals often take place in a special room, the Room of Mysteries, known as the Famba, Iongo, or Fambayan. 33. This room is prepared for rituals by the drawing of images, called anaphorona or firmas, on the space and objects within it. 32. Brown noted that altar objects are permanent living repositories of ancestral presences. 34. These altar objects may be renovated, during which they are redecorated, and this may also entail then being recharged with spiritually powerful substances. 35. Aesthetic innovations developed in one lodge may get adopted by others. 34. These are full of theatricality and drama, and consist of drumming, dancing, and chanting in the secret Abaku language. Knowledge of the chants is restricted to Abaku members. Cuban scholars have long thought that the ceremonies express Abaku cultural history. 36. When a lodge member dies, all of the lodge's other activities stop until the correct rites have been conducted. 37. Music, edit. Music is central to Abaku rituals. 4. Drumming plays an important role in Abaku rituals, as it does in other Afro-Cuban traditions. 17. Abaku chapters will often have two separate sets of drums, one used in public events and the other in private ceremonies. 4. These drums will be consecrated prior to ritual use and then fed with the blood of sacrificed animals. 4. Public drumming ceremonies rely on the use of 4 drums, each typically cut from a single log and left undecorated except for an anaphora marked onto the skin. 4. The largest of these drums is called the bonko in Shemia. It is approximately 1 meter tall and placed at a slight tilt when being played. 4. The other 3 drums, which are typically around 9 to 10 inches in height, are called enkamo. 38. The 3 are tuned to produce different types of sound. That which reaches the highest pitch is the binkum. The middle is the kuchi yerama, and the lowest is the abayapa or salida. 38. The 3 enkamo are each placed under one palm and hit with the other, using fingers rather than the whole hand. 38. As well as these 4 drums, the public rituals are typically accompanied with 2 rattles, the erakundi, and a bell made from 2 triangular pieces of iron, the ikan. 4. Private rituals involve 4 drums, the enkrikamo, ikanan, mpego, and erebo or sisirbo. 38. These 4 drums are decorated with at least 1 feathered staff, attached at the end with the skin. 38. They may also have a skirt of shredded fibers. 38. The erebo, which has 4 of the feathered staffs rather than just 1, is constructed differently, having the skin. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. I am Costume, National Museum of World Cultures. Attached to a hoop of flexible material. 39. Sacrificial offerings are placed over this drum, which represents the dignitary. Isu. 29. The enkrikamo is used to convene the spirits of the dead, while the ikanan is employed by the dignitary tasked with dispensing justice and performing sacrifices, which the drum is expected to witness. 38. The mpego is played by the dignitary of the same name and is used to open and close ceremonies. 38. Also important in rites is a drum called the ekv, which is kept concealed behind a curtain in the famba. 38. The ekv is a single-headed wooden friction drum with 3 openings at the base, giving the impression of 3 legs. 29. It is played by rubbing a stick over the skin, with the resulting sound symbolizing the voice of Tans the fish. 29. Although hermetic and little known even within Cuba, an analysis of Cuban popular music recorded from the 1920s until the present reveals Abaku influence in nearly every genre of Cuban popular music. Cuban musicians who are members of the Abaku have continually documented key aspects of their society's history in commercial recordings, usually in their secret Abaku language. The Abaku have commercially recorded actual chants of the society, believing that outsiders cannot interpret them. Because Abaku represented a rebellious, even anti-colonial, aspect of Cuban culture, these secret recordings have been very popular. 40. Day of the Three Kings, edit. Members take part in the public carnival held on January the 6th, the Day of the Three Kings. 41. For this they wear elaborate outfits consisting of checkerboard cloth, a design perhaps influenced by a leopard skin pattern. 31. They also wear a conical headpiece that is topped by tassels, which is based on those of the Ajagam. 31. Dressing as I am signifies the return of the dead to earth. 7. Permission to conduct an Abaku procession must come from the lodge leaders and also requires access to their ritual objects. 42. Language, edit. The ritual language used in Abaku is commonly called Brikamo. 43. The Abaku language was proposed by Núñez Cedeno, 1985, to be a Spanish-based pidgin, with the main African lexical influence originating from the Efik language. 44. History, edit. Ekp and the Atlantic slave trade, edit. Abaku was heavily influenced by the Ekp society, which existed among the settlements of the Cross River Basin in what is now Nigeria and Cameroon during the 18th and 19th centuries. 1. Ekp lodges have commonly also been called leopard societies. 45. Ekp emerged among 18th century Efik people as a means of transcending ethnic and family barriers and thus facilitating business relations for the trade in palm oil and slaves to European merchants. 1. Dominated by wealthy merchants. 46. It was an all-male society, and members were expected to keep its rights a secret. Those who revealed secrets to outsiders could be punished with death. 1. Some Europeans, especially British traders, were also initiated into the group, as it helped to build trust and credit. 47. The Efik of this period engaged in slavery. They enslaved members of their own people who were deemed guilty of theft or adultery, purchased slaves from other groups like the Igboero, and launched war expeditions to capture slaves from other communities. 46. The Ekp society helped to organize and spread the Efik slave trade, playing a role in the establishment of the Old Town Slave Center at Old Calabar. 46. Efik traders often sold enslaved people to British merchants, with the British slave trade from the Bight of Biafra being most intense between 1700 and 1807, at which point the British Empire banned the trade in slaves. 45. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Painting of Nanago Celebration in Cuba, 1878. Painting including an Iam dancer, rite, at a Three Kings Day celebration in Havana. In Cuba, African slaves were divided into groups termed nations, often based on their port of embarkation rather than their own ethno-cultural background. 48. Those slaves originally sold at Old Calabar became known as the Karabali nation. 49. Those included in this category came from a range of ethnic backgrounds, including Ibo, Bibi, Ibibio, Io, and Ikoi. 49. In Cuba, traditional African deities perhaps continued to be venerated within clubs and fraternal organizations made up of African migrants and their descendants. 50. The most important of these were the Cabildos de Nation, associations that the establishment regarded as a means of controlling the Afro-Cuban population. 51. These operated as mutual aid societies and organized communal feasts, dances, and carnivals. 52. It was within the Karabali Cabildos of Havana and Matanzas that knowledge of the Ekp secrets and rituals were preserved. 49. Although Efik people were transported to various parts of the Americas through the Atlantic slave trade, it was only in Cuba that there is evidence for the Ekp society being reconstituted in any form. 23. Formation and early history, edit. The first Abaku group was formed in Regla in 1836. 53. This group was commonly known as Efik Buton, although other names used were Akabuton and Akuabuton. 43. Its members were called the Bulnistas. 54. The term Efik Buton probably derived from Abutong, the Efik settlement in Old Calabar that English speakers had called Old Town. 49. The group's formation was supported by the Reglas Cabildo de Nation. Karabali Brikamo Apapar Efi. 43. According to an account from the 1880s, members of that Regla Cabildo pushed for Abaku's creation as a means of passing their secrets to black Creoles without actually admitting them into the Cabildo itself. 43. From there, the society spread to Havana, Matanzas, and Cardenas. 55. By 1881, there were 77 Juegos in Havana's 9 districts and 6 in nearby Regla and Guanabaco municipalities. 56. Two distinct branches emerged, the EFI and the EFO. 57. For over 20 years, Efik Buton and those in its lineage prohibited white and mulatto membership, seeking only those deemed to be of pure African blood. 54. By 1863, the Havana EFO branch was reported as having many white members. 57. This demographic change reflected the social and economic changes in the cities of West Cuba in this period. 57. The ruling elites had encouraged the mass migration of white Europeans to Cuba in the mid-19th century to offset the numerical dominance of an Afro-Cuban population. 58. Although established among Afro-Cubans, it came to let in mulattoes and whites. 59. As Ivor Miller noted, the requirements for admission became not race, but a demonstration of a moral character as well as discretion. 60. The whites who joined were predominantly working class but also included high-ranking military figures, aristocrats, and politicians. 57. The EFO branch, and also some EFI lodges, also admitted mulattoes and those from additional migrant communities, including Canary Islanders, Chinese, and Filipinos. 57. In the 1860s, the society began to adopt the public display of Roman Catholic symbols. 61. Abaku came to control the stevedore, transportation, and local manufacturing labor in Cuban port cities between the 1870s and 1942. 43. The society faced persecution in the 19th and early 20th centuries. 62. Throughout the mid-19th century, the group was commonly rumored to be involved in criminal activity. 56. In Cuban society, the term nanigos gained negative connotations, equivalent of English terms like sorcerer and delinquent. 62. Rivalries between different lodges sometimes escalated into violence, contributing to the society's negative reputation in Cuban society. 63. For many in the Cuban establishment, Abaku was regarded as being linked to a culture of poverty and marginalization. 21. At the same time, some politicians in the Republic courted the society's support, even printing electoral material in Efik. 21. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Abaku members were among the Cubans who migrated to Florida in the late 19th century, many of them fleeing the Spanish government's crackdown against perceived rebels. 64. There were many society members among the Cuban tobacco rollers who settled in Ybor City by the 1880s, for instance. 26. Although they gathered for communal celebrations, these U.S.-based members could not establish lodges nor perform initiations in Florida. 65. The tradition's Cuban leaders have never sanctioned the establishment of a lodge outside Cuba itself, concerned that such American lodges may operate autonomously of the mother lodges from which they have been spawned. 27. Cuban carnival activities in Florida nevertheless sometimes generated false claims that Abaku was active in the U.S. 42. Substantial research into Abaku was conducted by the Cuban anthropologist Lydia Cabrera, who worked in Havana and Matanzas between the 1930s and 1950s. In the 1960s she moved to Miami, where she published several books on the society. 66. The 20th century work of Cabrera and Harold Corlander reflected a growing scholarly usage of the term Abaku, replacing the previously common term Nanaguimo. 49. Many group members embraced this term over Nanigos because of the latter word's associations with criminality in Cuban society. 6. After the Cuban Revolution, edit. The Cuban Revolution of 1959 resulted in the island becoming a Marxist-Leninist state governed by Fidel Castro's Communist Party of Cuba. 67. Committed to state atheism, Castro's government took a negative view of Afro-Cuban religions. 68. It viewed Abaku as a criminal and counter-revolutionary organization. 69. With state persecution of Abaku continuing through the 1960s and into the 1970s. 70. Following the Soviet Union's collapse in the 1990s, Castro's government declared that Cuba was entering a special period in which new economic measures would be necessary. As part of this, it selectively supported Afro-Cuban traditions, partly out of a desire to boost tourism. 71. Abaku's relationship with the tourist industry helped to improve the society's reputation in Cuba. 62. Abaku ritual objects first began to be publicly displayed in anthropological and criminological museums. 72. By the mid-1960s, they could also be found in institutions like Cuba's National Museum of Fine Arts. 72. The 1960s also saw the increasing use of Abaku music and dances in secular performances, something that angered some society members. 73. In 1998, a group of Abaku initiates in Miami formed a lodge they named the Fek Butaniquint Mesoro, a reference to the first Cuban lodge. Abaku leaders in Cuba refused to recognize the legitimacy of this group, both because it did not have a sponsor and because several of its leaders had previously been suspended from their Cuban lodges for disobedience. 74. Subsequently, in the early 21st century, Abaku members in the United States met with Nigerian and Cameroonian ECP members based in the same country and helped establish growing links between the related societies. 75. In 2001, an Abaku performance troupe appeared at a meeting of the Fek National Association of USA in Brooklyn, New York. 75. For the 2003 Fek National Association meeting, 2 Abaku leaders traveled to Michigan to meet with the Abong of Calabar. 75. In 2004 2 Abaku musicians traveled to Calabar, Nigeria to perform at the International ECP Festival. 75. In 2007, an Abaku group and an ECP troupe from Calabar performed on stage together in Paris, France. 75. Reception and influence, edit. Abaku has been demonized by colonial and state authorities throughout its history. 24. The ethnomusicologist Maria Teresa Velez suggested that Abaku had been discriminated against and persecuted more than other Afro-Cuban religious practices. 69. Prejudice against the group has been widespread both before and after the Cuban Revolution, 69, and successive Cuban governments have seen the societies juegos as potential centers for resistance to the government and establishment. 76. Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert noted that the society had exerted a profound and pervasive creative influence on Cuban music, art, and language. 77. From at least the late 19th century, there has also been an artistic tradition of using Abaku imagery as a symbol of the Cuban nation as a whole. 37. This can be seen not only in Cuba itself but also among. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Artists in Florida, where it is evident in the work of Cuban diasporic artists like Mario Sanchez, Jose Orbin, and Leandro Soto. 78. Soto for instance used an Abaku mask as a symbol for Cuba in a video installation performance piece created in the early 21st century. 79. References, edit. Citations, edit. 1 ABCD Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 99. 2 ABCD Velez 2000, p. 17. 3 AB Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 101. 4 ABCDEFGHIJK Velez 2000, p. 18. 5 Velez 2000, p. 4, Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 99. 6 ABCD Miller 2014, p. 254. 7 AB Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 107. 8 Velez 2000, p. 17, Miller 2014, p. 254. 9 Religion in Cuba, Chango Unchained. The Economist. The 18th of April, 2015. Retrieved the 25th of April, 2015. 10 Mason 2002, p. 88, Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 33. 11 Hazardorn 2001, pp. 22-23, 105. 12 Espirito Santo, Kerastetsi and Panagiotopoulos 2013. p. 196. 13 Arco 2010, p. 106, Espirito Santo, Kerastetsi and Panagiotopoulos 2013, p. 196. 14 Velez 2000, p. 11, Hazardorn 2001, p. 170, Weedle 2004, p. 54. 15 Miller 2014, p. 261. 16 AB Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 105. 17 AB Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 106. 18 Velez 2000, p. 18, Fernandez Olmos and Paravais Inigibert 2011, p. 99. 19 Velez 2000, P17, Brown 2003, P9, Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, P100. 20 Miller 2014, P258. 21 ABC Velez 2000, P22. 22 Velez 2000, P35. 23 AB Miller 2014, P251. 24 ABC D Miller 2014, P252. 25 Miller, A Secret Society Goes Public, African Studies. Review 43.1, 2164. 26 AB Miller 2014, P255. 27 AB Miller 2014, pp. 251252. 28 Brown 2003, p5. 29 ABCDEFG Velez 2000, p20. 30 Velez 2000, p21. 31 ABC Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p103. 32 AB Velez 2000, p18, Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p106. 33 AB Velez 2000, p18, Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p105. 34 AB Brown 2003, p4. 35 Brown 2003, pp. 3-4. 36 Miller, Ivor. Cuban Abaku Chants, Examining New Linguistic and Historical Evidence for the African Diaspora. African Studies Review 48.1, 2005 27. 37 AB Miller 2014, p266. 38 ABCDEFGHI Velez 2000, p19. 39 Velez 2000, pp. 19-20. 40 Miller, Ivor. A Secret Society Goes Public, African Studies Review 43.1, 2161. 41 Velez 2000, p17, Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p103. 42 AB Miller 2014, p257. 43 ABCDE Brown 2003, p14. 44 Rafael Núñez Cedeno. The Abaku Secret Society in Cuba, Language and Culture. Hispania 71, No. 1, 1988. 14854. https://do.org/10.2307/343234. 45 AB Brown 2003, p12. 46 ABC Brown 2003, p11. 47 Brown 2003, p12. Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p99. 48 Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p34. 49 ABCDE Brown 2003, p13. 50 Clark 2005, p7, Fernandez Omos and Paravaicini Gilbert 2011, p36. 51 Clark 2005, p6, Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert. 2011, p. 36. 52 Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 36. 53 Velez 2000, p. 17, Brown 2003, p. 14, Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 100. 54 A.B. Brown 2003, p. 19. 55 Velez 2000, p. 17, Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 100. 56 A.B. Brown 2003, p. 15. 57 A.B.C.D.E. Brown 2003, p. 22. 58 Brown 2003, p. 25. 59 Velez 2000, p. 17, Miller 2016, p. 197. 60 Miller 2016, p. 197. 61 Miller 2016, p. 199. 62 ABC Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 108. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 63 Velez 2000, p. 22, Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 108. 64 Miller 2014, pp. 249, 253-254, 256. 65 Miller 2014, pp. 249, 252. 66 Miller 2014, p. 259. 67 Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 83. 68 Hazardorn 2001, p. 197, Elorindi 2007, p. 156. 69 ABC Velez 2000, p. 83. 70 Velez 2000, p. 23, Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 108. 71 Hazardorn 2001, pp. 78, Castaneda 2007, p. 148, Wirtz 2007, p. 72. 72 AB Brown 2003, p. 8. 73 Velez 2000, p. 82. 74 Miller 2014, pp. 259-260. 75 ABC-DE Miller 2014, p. 262. 76 Velez 2000, p. 23. 77 Fernandez Omos and Paravicinigebert 2011, p. 110. 78 Miller 2014, pp. 266-267, 271. 79 Miller 2014, p. 271. Sources, edit. Elorindi, Christine, 2007. Writing Out Africa. Racial Politics and the Cuban Regla de Acá. In Theodore Louis Trust, ed. The African Diaspora and the Study of Religion. New York, Palgrave Macmillan. pp. 15166. Do. 10.1057/9780230609938_9. ISBN 978-1403977861. Brown, David H. 2003. The Light Inside, Abaku Society Arts and Cuban Cultural History. Washington and London, Smithsonian Books. ISBN 978-1588341235. Castaneda, Angela N. 2007. The African Diaspora in Mexico, Santeria, Tourism, and Representations of the State. In Theodore Louis. Trust, ed. The African Diaspora and the Study of Religion. New York, Palgrave Macmillan. pp. 13150. Do. 10.1057/9780230609938_8. ISBN 978-1403977861. Clark, Mary Ann, 2005. Where Men Are Wives and Mothers Rule, Santeria Ritual Practices and Their Gender Implications. Gainesville. University Press of Florida. ISBN 978-0813028347. Espirito Santo, Diana, Kerastetsi, Katerina, Panagiotopoulos, Anastasios, 2013. Human Substances and Ontological Transformations. In the African-inspired ritual complex of Palo Monte in Cuba. Critical African Studies. 5, 3195-219. Do. 10.1080/21681392.2013.837-285. S2 SID 1439021224. Fernandez Omos, Margaret, Paravicini-Gilbert, Elizabeth, 2011. Creole Religions of the Caribbean, An Introduction from Voda and Santeria to Obeah and Espiritismo, 2nd ed. New York and London, New York University Press. ISBN 978-0-8147-6228-8. Hazadawn, Catherine J. 2001. Divine Utterances, The Performance of Afro-Cuban Santeria. Washington, D.C., Smithsonian Books. ISBN 978-1560989479. Mason, Michael Atwood, 2002. Living Santeria, Rituals and Experiences in an Afro-Cuban Religion. Washington, D.C., Smithsonian Books. ISBN 978-1588-34052-8. Miller, Ivor L. 2014. Abaku Communities in Florida, Members of the Cuban Brotherhood in Exile. In Amanda Carlson and Robin Poynor, ed. Africa in Florida, 500 Years of African Presence in the Sunshine State. University Press of Florida. pp. 249. 275. ISBN 978-0813044576. Miller, Ivor L. 2016. Abaku Photographic Essay. Afro-Hispanic Review. 35, 2197204. JSTA 44797-206. Arco, Todd Raymond, 2010. Society of the Dead, Quitarmanaquitar and Palo Praise in Cuba. Berkeley, Los Angeles, and London. University of California Press. ISBN 978-0520256842. Velez, Maria Teresa, 2000. Drumming for the Gods, The Life and Times of Felipe Garcia Villamil, Santro, Pailro and Abaku. Studies in Latin American and Caribbean Music. Philadelphia, Temple University Press. ISBN 978-1566397315. Wiedel, Johann, 2004. Santeria Healing, A Journey into the Afro-Cuban World of Divinities, Spirits, and Sorcery. Gainesville, University Press of Florida. ISBN 978-0813026947. Wirtz, Christina, 2007. Ritual, Discourse, and Community in Cuban Santeria, Speaking a Sacred World. Gainesville, University Press of Florida. ISBN 978-0813030647. Further reading, edit. Aaron Myers, 1999. Abakus. Africana, The Encyclopedia of the African and African American Experience. Basic Books. P2. Article on Cuban Abaku music written by Dr. Ivor Miller at Lame.org. Categories: 1836 Establishments in the Spanish Empire, African Secret Societies, Afro-American Religion, Afro-Cuban Culture, Cuban-American Culture, Organizations established in 1836, Society of Cuba. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Folk Catholicism. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF.